Cafe Networking Podcast promotes successful business experts. I'm Tom Rioch, known as the King of Networking, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Joining us today from Pine Plains, New York, Debbie Spector Weisman, dream life coach, author, podcaster, TV host, empowering dreamers to live a life they love. So Debbie, why is a nightmare the best thing that can happen to you?
Well, it sounds maybe counterintuitive, but here's why. We all dream, and our dreams, I believe, are there to give us insights into our life. Unfortunately, most people don't remember their dreams and don't pay attention to them because they don't think they're important. And the one dream that people do have is a nightmare because it scares them. They remember it, wakes them up and it scares them. My philosophy is that because we all dream, our dreams are there, they're giving us information, but we're not paying attention to them, so we don't do anything about them. The nightmare then is there to say, hey, look, I'm giving you all this information in dreams. You're not paying attention to it. I'm going to give you a nightmare, so you're going to be scared. And so that's, I think, why nightmares happen. But again, most people will just say, oh, I had a terrible nightmare. It was horrible and ick, and kind of just shrug it off. But I say, no, pay attention to that nightmare because it's giving you valuable information that is really going to help you live your daytime life in a much more productive manner. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Most people, or a lot of people, have nightmares about death. Mm-hmm. And that's horrible. Oh my God, I had a nightmare, I'm going to die. Well, no, death in a dream doesn't mean, for the most part, doesn't mean literal death. It means the end of something. A nightmare, look at it and say, well, what is it in my life that is ending or maybe needs to end? Is there, an event in my life or situation in my life that needs to end? Or is there a part of my being that needs to end? Like if I'm angry all the time, is this a message to tell me to not be angry? That sort of thing. So look at what the dream is telling you. A lot of people, very common nightmare is a chase dream. Well, one way to deal with a chase dream is to literally turn around and say, why are you chasing me? To whatever is chasing you. And very often, and you'll find that you'll say, oh, what do you mean I can't talk to that being or that person? It's not going to answer me. But if you get yourself into a quiet state, you will get an answer. And very often you'll find that the being is not chasing you to harm you, but chasing you to say, hey, wait, I've got something to tell you. Listen. So those are
chasing, trying to catch you and involve you in something.
Exactly. So it's not necessarily a horrible thing. Mm-hmm. If your nightmare is more vague or it's just bizarre or things like that, the way to deal with it is to break it down. Write it down. Write down everything you can about the nightmare. Look at all the components of it. Mm-hmm. If there's a person in the nightmare, look at that person and say, what does that person mean to me? What is that person trying to tell me? If there's an action in the dream, say, well, what is this action trying to tell me? Look at all those different elements and see if you can define what it is that message that you're getting. Another way that you can deal with a nightmare is a process called recrafting. And what recrafting is, you take the nightmare and when you're in your daytime waking state, change it. So what you do is take a quiet moment, get yourself nice and quiet and settled, get into a kind of meditative state, just, breathe, take some nice deep breaths, just kind of feel relaxed and go over this nightmare in your head. Look at the point where the dream turned from just a dream into a nightmare. Well, what happened at that point? What was that trying to tell you? And then say to yourself, how would I change this situation? What would I do to make this a situation where I feel I'm in control, where I feel I have the power? And you can just tell yourself, well, I would do this, I would do that. And when you're in this state and you do this, you will gain a sense of feeling more in control of yourself. and turn
Well,
that
you're
nightmare.
bringing an interesting point, because I'm saying personally, we don't really give value to our dreams or our nightmares. The nightmare becomes a wake-up call, but rarely do we share what we've dreamt about, occasionally a nightmare is something we might share if it was really shocking in some way. But generally speaking, you bring up a point to write it down, try to remember. We get up in the morning and we start doing stuff, and we really forgot what happened while we were sleeping.
Oh, one of the most powerful things that anybody could do is to keep a dream journal. And that is when you have a dream, any dream at all, just keep a pad by your bed, or, if you're technologically adept, just hit the record button on your phone and record what happened in the dream. Just write down as many details as you can, just the facts, whatever it is. Then when you get up in the morning, look at what you wrote and reflect on it. What does this say to me? What kind of meaning does it have to me? And it could be, something very happy. If you've had a happy dream, don't ignore it, because that happy dream is reminding you, love life.
Right.
Remember the joy in your life, and store it up for those times when maybe you're feeling down. You could go back to that situation and feel good about yourself. If you're having a dream, there's an issue.
One question I would have now, we talk about daydreaming. Do we have to be asleep to dream?
Well, daydreaming is a little bit different, because we do that. This is getting into brain science. We're getting into our different brain states. When we daydream, and not just thinking aloud, but like really in a different state of mind, our brain state is different from the state we're in right now when we're talking to each other. And in that state, we get more in tune with our subconscious, more in tune with the things that are keeping us, our daytime tends to cloud us up with all kinds of, negative thinking, negative ideas. When we're in a subconscious state of mind, which happens in our dreams, it happens to a little lesser point, but still in daydreaming, we can get more reflective. Just as an example, Thomas Edison had most of his inventions while daydreaming. He would take little naps in the afternoon, and because he was in that relaxed state of mind, ideas would pop up. Because when we're in that
and
mind,
certainly he would write them down.
And of course, he would write them down. The thing of it is, anybody could do this.
Right.
It's all a matter of believing the dreams are important and taking action on them.
Now, as a certified dream life coach, your clients, the persons that you do coach, they're individuals. Is this something that's always one-on-one?
Well, I prefer one-on-one because my access point to getting with people is through their dreams. I help them understand their dreams, just like we're doing now, to get them to see how their dreams relate to what's going on in their life. And the coaching part of what I do comes in when these dreams reveal self-limiting beliefs that they have about themselves. And through working with their dreams and working with other coaching techniques, I help them, both uncover these self-limiting beliefs and help them get over the self-limiting beliefs so that they feel more empowered, more confident, more in control of their lives, and get into that state where they can raise their energy and be more creative, feel happier about themselves, and like I say, learn to live the life they want to love.
Yeah, I can see that on your site. You say that your personal guide to unlocking the power of your dreams. And I have to agree with that. We certainly overlook that as part of our lifestyle. We overlook our dreams.
Right. And in case people don't believe it, there are countless examples in our popular culture of, songs, movies, books, inventions that all came from people's dreams. Very good.
Well, coming to all our listeners' dreams, Debbie, how can our listeners find you?
My website is thedreamcoach.net. I have a lot of information on that site, the blogs where I talk about different aspects of dreams, one-on-one coaching where you can help with understanding your dreams. You can go there. You can email me if you have any questions at debbie@thedreamcoach.net. I'm on social media. I also have a podcast called, I'm sorry, Dream Life Radio, where I talk about dreams, I interview people about dreams, and also on other subjects of empowerment.
Very good. Well, thanks for sharing and helping us dream a little bit better.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
And again, it's Debbie Spector Weisman, DebbieSpector, and the last name Weisman. You'll find her at thedreamcoach.net. And you can follow her podcast, which is Dream Power Radio, on all major platforms. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at focusmi.com. Talk to Tom, talk to the world. Thanks for listening. Till the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.